Hey, what's up everybody? Retro Gaming Guy here. Today in this video, we're going to unbox, demo, and review this mini PC right here. This is the AceMagic AD08 mini PC. Now this mini PC has an Intel Core i9-12900H processor, 8 cores, 16 threads, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and speeds of up to 4.9 gigahertz. This also has a 512 gigabyte SSD installed within with Windows 11. So we're going to unbox this. We'll take a look at the layout and design of the mini PC, and then we're going to give this a full gaming test. We'll test it out both in Windows and also with Batocera for some retro video game emulation. Let's dive into it. All right, so here we have the mini PC itself, very nicely packaged. Decent size to this. It's actually pretty lightweight, but let's set that aside for right now. Let's see what else is included. So we do have our user manual right here. And then we have all of our cables in this little compartment on the side. So we have HDMI cable. We have our power supply cable, which is a 2-part power supply cable right here. And let's see if we have anything else hiding within. Nope, that seems to be everything. All right, so I'm just going to make my connections on the power supply cable. Love that this is a low profile flat component here. Always easier when they are low profile. So let's just take a quick glance at the mini PC's user manual. Comes in 9 different languages. Walks through how you can go ahead and make your different connections on here. It is your generic sort of user manual. Like here, it shows you how you can mount this to the backside of a monitor, which we typically see with mini PCs, but this obviously is not going to mount to any monitors. So when I set that aside, it does go through all your connections though. So here is our mini PC. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to let you guys know straight up, this is not very mini. This is a good size. Now, that being said, it's pretty lightweight, but definitely looks like it's going to pack a punch. Now, up here at the top, we have our power button. This is all going to light up very nicely too once we power this on, and I'll show you guys how this looks once everything is powered on. But we have our power button right here. You would just hit this little button, and we actually have 3 different modes across the top because the power button also doubles as a dial. And you can see that we can just switch to these different modes. So over here we have our silent mode. That's going to be, as it suggests, your quiet mode here. Next is going to be auto, and then we also have performance. So performance is going to be where I like to keep everything at with these. I have another mini PC that I actually use on a daily basis, very similar to this. And performance is just what I think is going to be the best option for any type of gaming that you're doing on here. So I would bring that over, and you'll get a different LED light that actually lights up on the front here, depending on what mode you're in. So once you get used to it, you'll be able to, if you're in a dimly lit room, you don't have to go in here and actually look at each individual setting. You'll be able to just turn this to the color that, obviously goes with each of the settings. So great way to be able to do that. Now, right here in the front, we have our audio connection up here at the top. So you can plug in speakers, you can plug in your headphones if you want to. And I like that it's easily accessible right on the front panel. We also have 2 USB 3 ports here and a USB Type-C. And I love USB Type-Cs on mini PCs. I think that we're seeing more and more things run off of Type-C connections these days. So having easy access to that right in the front is an absolute home run. So I'm going to actually take these plastic protectors off on each side. Now over here on this side, this actually lights up very nicely. And again, I'll show you guys how everything looks once we power this on. But that's pretty much it. It says enjoy power, enjoy life down here at the bottom. Other side, it says mighty on the side, and this is all ventilation. So we have excellent airflow from this, I'm sure. Now let's take a look at the back side because we have a bunch of additional ports back here. So we have a reset button up here at the top. We have 2 USB 3 ports, 2 HDMI ports, so we can get multiple displays with this mini PC. We have an Ethernet connection. And then we also have our power supply connection down here at the bottom. Now, one more thing I want to show you, the side that has the LED light window over here, this side actually opens right up. You can see right here how I just simply pulled it, and it actually has a magnet that just, if I let this go, the magnet's going to retract it back into place, just like that. But all we have to do is just simply pull that side panel off. You can see we have access to everything, so we can adjust and remove or replace our SSD if we wanted to down here. We can make adjustments to the RAM that's in here as well. So fully customizable, easy to access, and even easier to put back in place. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. I'll show you guys what it looks like once we power this on, both in a dimly lit room and then also a well lit room, so you can see the difference in the appearance of this. But we'll jump into this and we're going to test out games a bunch of different ways and really get a good idea as to what performance comes with this mini PC. All right, guys, so once I actually booted this up into Windows 11 today, I found that we have RGB lighting control software pre-installed and ready to go on our PC already. So this enables us to actually change all of the colors that you see on the outside of your mini PC, which I think is really awesome. We have the auto setting here. So this is auto, and you can see now the color on here is going to stay the same because I'm in red mode, which is the high performance mode. If we were to go over here in the middle, that would change to green, and then if we went over here to silent, that would go to blue. But I like to be over here in performance whenever I'm gaming. So if we go into auto, and you'll notice that on screen, every time I change that dial, that it does give us an indication as to what setting we are currently in. So auto, it's going to kind of rotate through here. You notice how we have these rotating lights that kind of do their own thing here. Now we can actually shut everything off if we click on off, and that's going to kill all of your lights except for the side LED light there. Now we can go to rainbow over here, and that's going to kind of float through the rainbow colors, which I think is really cool looking. We also have breathe, and breathe is going to fluctuate, in kind of a pulsating sort of way. It's still going to jump through the different color options, but it's going to kind of go like a heart rate would in a pulsing sort of manner. Next we have cycle, and this is going to do this, where it just kind of goes through each individual color. It doesn't really blend together as much. It just literally changes colors little by little. So you can go through here and customize this however you want to. Me personally, I really like the rainbow one myself, but all these amazing options are possible with the RGB lighting control software. Again, that is pre-installed on here as soon as you power on and set up your PC. So let's dive into some gaming. We're going to kick everything off with some retro gaming through Batocera first, and then we'll jump in and we will go into Windows 11 here, and I'll show you guys around a couple different ways that we could game on here.
$30.15. Ghost! Great! Whoa!
My fault! Let's get it on! Careful, it could be anywhere. Back me up! I got you covered! Keep it up! Oh! Cut it out, soldier! Out of the way, Let's find him!
All right, guys, we just jumped out of this mini PC, and I have to say that AceMagic has been very consistent with the products that they've put out over the last few years. They have some amazing options out there that have excellent performance when it comes to gaming. This product right here is absolutely no different. It is exceptional. I love the speed of this. I love the specs that are on here, and I think that the processor is top-notch as well. And we had a great experience, but before I dive in depth into what the performance was like and the overall experience, I want to talk about the layout and design of this mini PC. This is not your tiniest, most compact mini PC out there on the market. And I think we could tell that just looking at it. I think it honestly barely squeaks by as being classified as a mini PC, But the good side to that is that the layout and the design of this is very well thought out, and I think it's very efficient and also convenient for the end user. So we had a great experience with opening this up, and I love that it's so easy to open up, because a lot of times you have to go through a really tedious and strenuous process to open up your mini PCs and make customizations or update things within. With this, you literally don't have to unscrew a damn thing, which I think is absolutely amazing. There's nothing more frustrating than having to search for the perfect tiny little screwdriver to get everything open, and then to hope that you don't lose the screws, because if you do, where are you ever going to find a replacement? This is amazingly thought out. You simply pull it apart, and you have the ability to go in there and make all of your customizations and put it all back together. It takes literally probably 2 seconds to open it up, 2 seconds to put it back together, if that. So I love that. It's just incredibly well thought out. We also have exceptional ventilation on here. The airflow is amazing, and I love the port options. We have 4 USB 3 ports on here, so you can connect in controllers, a mouse, a keyboard, a USB flash drive if you want to. Tons of options there. We have the Type-C port in the front as well. And we have dual HDMI ports, so we can bring multiple displays into the mix here, which is great as well. So love everything about the layout and design. Let's talk about the performance now. Jumped into Batocera on an external SSD. We tested out a wide range of game collections and emulators. So we jumped into original Xbox, we jumped into Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Switch, we went into Dreamcast, we went into PS2, PS3, Wii U. Just a phenomenal experience on all of these. The only collection or emulator that I had any sort of hiccups, or I won't even say lags or delays, but just like a slightest little hiccup here and there, was PS3. And that can be attributed to the emulator. So it may have absolutely nothing to do with the specs and capabilities of this mini PC. PS3 can be a little bit dicey sometimes, especially on the more demanding titles. So I expect there to be sometimes, a little hiccup here and there. And I did encounter that, but nothing that interrupts the experience or ruins it by any means. So phenomenal options here for retro video game emulation. So we also jumped into Windows 11, and we tested out 2 different things on here. Usually I'll go into Windows 11, I'll add Steam to it, and I'll jump into some AAA titles. So I did that, and what I was able to do was also jump into Fortnite, because I wanted to see how this would handle something like Fortnite. So first and foremost, Steam, great experience, jumped into some AAA titles, and I would say it's pretty much just like PS3. It's very good. I would say it's about 90% perfect in all honesty, but you do get a little hiccup here and there. I didn't find anything that was really noticeable enough to really point out in video here, but when playing, you do feel like a slight little, not a lag, but like a little hiccup in the experience, but it's brief. We're talking like, a fraction of a second, and then you're back to normal. So it doesn't ruin the experience or anything like that, but I definitely think that jumping into Steam is probably as far as you can really go with this. So now I also jumped into Fortnite on Windows 11 and downloaded everything, loaded in, and it actually loaded up very quickly, but it's not a smooth experience, unfortunately. So as I was dropping into my match, I saw lots of lags and delays, and I thought, all right, this is not going to be a good experience. But it actually did get much better when I actually landed in the match. I was able to do much better than I thought I'd be able to do. I think I got 3 eliminations in like 2 minutes or so. So it wasn't a bad experience there in terms of the end result, but it's definitely glitchy, it's definitely laggy and slow, and you seem to miss like little seconds here and there. So as I was getting off the motorcycle, I noticed that as soon as I dismounted, usually it would show you like actually getting off the bike. The bike would, if you weren't at a complete stop, it would kind of trail off into the distance while you are, off of it, so you're stationary or running in whatever direction. And when I dismounted, I noticed that I went from getting off it to just already being off it, and now the bike was far away from me. So I lost like a second or two in there that kind of lagged out. So that's never a good experience in any sort of live game like Fortnite. So I also noticed when I was trying to sight in on other players and line up shots that I was tracking them, and then all of a sudden they're like 2 feet further along down the shore or, up a hill than where they were when I was, lining up the shot. So another indication that there are lags and delays there, and it's just not going to be that flawless experience that, we all would want. You could probably make some adjustments in settings, but I don't think it's going to be perfect enough to where, it would be comparable to playing on like an Xbox or a PS5 or, a full-blown gaming PC. And I don't really expect it to. I was honestly impressed that we could do as much as we could with this mini PC, and I think that it speaks volumes that we could dive into as much as we did here with something that's not a full-blown gaming PC. I mean, this is a mini PC that has gaming capabilities, and the capabilities here are really impressive. So the end of the day, I think this is a great option. Just weigh out the pros and cons here. And I think that size is really the biggest factor. A lot of people want mini PCs because they want something super compact. This isn't really super compact, but I think that the design here is really well thought out, and you get definitely some added bonuses here and some performance upgrades based on the way that everything is laid out internally. So let me know what you guys thought of this mini PC, the capabilities here, and the overall performance. Let me know in the comments below, but I'll put a link up here at the top of your screen as well as in the description of this video so you can click over and get some additional information on this PC from AceMagic. That's going to do it for today, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please give me a thumbs up on the video. It's a huge helps me here on YouTube. And of course, hit subscribe to stay in the loop for all future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.